Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video here on Shows, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony, and I want to talk about the latest episode of the Braxtons. I feel like there's really no word to describe it. I could say toxic, I could say dysfunctional, but I could also say sad and ridiculous. And I don't think they were 100% being performative. They were slinging mud and spilling each other's tea, and it was kind of sad and low. So before we get into it all, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on this soundbite, it is allowed. So the clip is coming from the Bravo Shade Room, and they have this scene where the women are coming together. Right off the top, I'm a little annoyed. Trina says she actually says this in her confessional for a scene about their mom's health, where she says, "Right now, the sisterhood is fractured because Tamar brought our niece onto the podcast, but we are coming together for mommy." I was already a little annoyed by that because instantly you are shifting blame to Tamar, that the sisters are at odds and are distant with each other because of something that Tamar did. But Trina, if you are going to say that, you must take it back to the beginning, which is Tamar brought the niece on her podcast so that she could talk about you not speaking to her because allegedly there was some inappropriate behavior done by your ex-husband. I know that he is no longer here on earth, but him departing this earthly life does not erase any inappropriate behavior. Just like on the flip side, if he donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to colleges or nonprofits, you would still talk about that even after he's left this earth. So anything inappropriate that he allegedly did involving your niece when she was a teenager, it is what it is. He was the one who chose to do it, and he was an adult, and you won't speak to her regarding that. And then your husband was on your Instagram live sitting beside you with an opinion. And I bet if you won't talk to her, I bet he ain't even really met her or had legit conversation with her. So I'm not sure why Van would have an opinion anyway. So really annoyed with Trina. She's already shifting blame. They're back to the same old BS. I think it's a mixture of using Tamar as a storyline, but I do think that it's a real dynamic amongst their sibling relationships. I think that there is a lot of angst and negativity and dislike for Tamar. I'm sure that they love her, just knowing intellectually, knowing in their brain that they are blood related, that they share the same parents, they grew up in the same home. They have some fun memories with Tamar. So I know that from like an intellectual standpoint, they have some love for Tamar, but I think they have a lot more dislike for Tamar. And a lot of it goes back to, sometimes I think it's birth order. I think it's a combination of things. I think it involves birth order because she's the baby, as if Tamar can control that, right? Now that ain't intellect, that's stupidity, because Tamar can't control being born last. She's like number 6. I think it was 5 girls, 1 boy. And she can't help being born last in the Braxton bunch. Then also, we know back in the day, Towanda got jealous when Tamar and her now ex-husband, Vince Herbert, they had a spinoff show, Tamar and Vince. I mean, if they got a spinoff, they got a spinoff, Towanda. Why are you being a hater about that? So I know that that annoyed her back in the day as well. So she was trying to count Tamar's money. Also, brilliant marketing when they first came out with Braxton Family Values. after season 1, Tamar released her album Love and War. Stellar R&B album. Okay, I love Love and War, Hot Sugar. What was that song? The Most Beautiful Girl in the World. I used to play that song all the time. Now I got to listen to it once I'm done with this video. I think Towanda was jealous of Tamar's solo album that came out after season 1. It was pure genius because the show was on TV. It was popular. We were watching it. Then we went out and bought the album, baby, and it was good. I think Towanda was jealous of that. So it boils down to jealousy. But according to Tamar, on this current season of the Braxtons, after Tracy left, rest in peace to Miss Tracy Braxton, the show changed from Braxton Family Values to the Braxtons. We're on season 2. So Tamar says that she was uninvited to Towanda's wedding, and she was under the impression that she was some sort of maid of honor. And then Toni said, well, it was confusing, but I think that Towanda does not have a maid of honor. So it sounds like there is a communication problem when it comes to Towanda getting married and the bridal party and the whole setup. But let's go ahead and get into this clip, and then I'll come back with my commentary.
Who gave the man my address? I'm not expecting y'all to really give a about me. What I am asking about is my child.
Do I know where you live?
Well, of course you don't come. So
Exactly.
my thing, I know where you live because I put down your down payment.
Beautiful.
And you've been stealing from me for the past couple years on my credit cards. Help
But
me.
what you steal?
I don't steal anything.
You don't? You stole men.
Who's the man that I stole?
Tony's. You slept with them
Oh,
a few times.
Oh,
You slept with them a few times.
what man?
You not get the lead.
Oh, bitch. You know down there, bitch.
Oh, you such a liar. Such a liar.
He said he Towanda.
No, that's a lie.
I swear to
No, that's a
God.
lie. Which part are you trying to
Your man for him. You think I'm too?
Don't you? You slept with them.
Who gave the man my address? I'm not expecting y'all to really give a about me. What I am asking about is my child.
Do I know where you live?
Well, of course you don't come. So
Exactly.
my
So
thing,
how would
I
I
know
give
where
it
you
to
live because I put down your down payment.
Beautiful.
And you've been stealing from me for the past couple years on my credit cards. Help
But
me.
what you steal?
I don't steal anything.
You don't? You stole men.
Who's the man that I stole?
Tony's. You slept with them a few times. You slept with them a few times.
What man?
You not get the lead.
Oh, bitch. You know down there, bitch.
Oh, you such a liar. Such a liar.
He said he Towanda.
No, that's a lie.
I swear to
No, that's a lie. Which part are you trying to
Your man for him. You think I'm too? Don't you?
You slept?
Okay, so I played the clip twice. The Bravo Shade Room, they put it in 2 clips. So I played both clips twice for you. So Tamar said that she put the down payment on Towanda's home. So this scene was really about embarrassing each other. And I don't know what people get out of that from doing that, but Tamar said that she put the down payment on Towanda's home. Tamar accused Towanda of stealing her credit cards. And then Towanda accused Tamar of sleeping with, it sounded like she was kind of accusing her of sleeping with more than one ex. And then she said a few times. And what I think made Toni stand up was I think Tamar made a sly remark and said, what now you're going to accuse me of sleeping with, and I think she said Birdman, because we know that Toni is still legally married to Birdman, and I think that's what made Toni stand up. That part is what I think is performative. Toni Braxton doesn't seem like the type who would even get physical. So I think her standing up and pointing her finger, which that physical behavior, it could encourage someone else to stand up, match your energy, and you could possibly end up physically fighting. So I think Toni standing up is performative. I don't think that's really her. And I think that she knows that the sisters are not going to put their hands on her because they know that Toni has lupus. Lupus affects her heart. She has had health issues, unfortunately, for several years now. I think she knows they ain't gonna squash her just like she wouldn't squash a grape. And when people say, someone won't squash a grape, I feel like, for me, I feel like that's a positive thing if somebody were to say that, because they know that you're not violent. You don't have any violent tendencies. So when I say that, I feel like I'm speaking positively on a person, actually. Now, of course, if someone puts their hands on you, you have the right to defend yourself. And I do feel like Toni would do that. But we remember when Tamar had Krishan Rock backstage after a show, and Toni had this look on her face like, oh, because I think Krishan, she wouldn't grab Toni's hand. They were going to have prayer. It was something like to that effect. And Toni had this face like, oh, who is this girl? So, like, I don't think that she would really stand up to provoke someone to match her energy and possibly fight. I do think that part is performative. But them like spraying each other with their BS, I think that's all that stuff is true. Just in my opinion, Towanda. Now, the part of Tamar sleeping with Toni's exes, I don't know if that's true, but her putting the down payment on Tawanda's home and the theft, allegedly, Towanda, it could be. I wasn't there, of course, I don't know, but they were spraying each other with some embarrassing stuff. And I think that that's really uncalled for. The scene was edited. We heard Tamar say, basically what I really want to talk about is my son. And I'm guessing they hadn't seen him in a while. I don't know if his birthday passed and perhaps no one reached out. I'm not really sure. But Towanda said, well, I don't know where you live. And Tamar says, I know, yeah, because you don't come. And Towanda said, well, why would you expect? That was Tawanda's defense. Well, why would you expect me to reach out to the kid if I don't even know where you live? And then Tamar says, well, I know where you live because I put the down payment on your house. I think that if that's true, that Tamar put the down payment on Tawanda's house, that's giving people pleasing to me. That's giving wanting to be accepted and loved by Towanda. And if she's been disrespecting you all these years, if she's jealous of you, Tamar, she's never going to love you properly. She's never going to respect you. She's never going to treat you the way that she should want to be treated in return. That jealous energy is super duper strong and overpowering, and people can't see straight when they are jealous of you. So if Tamar put a down payment on Tawanda's home, just consider that a tax write-off, Tamar, because you cannot buy Tawanda's respect and love. You just can't. And I'm sure absolutely nothing improved about their sibling relationship after Tamar put the down payment on Tawanda's home, if that is true. Now, if Towanda has been stealing Tamar's credit cards, I have so many questions about that. Like, Tamar, did you report it to the police? Did you get the credit cards closed? Did you take her to small claims court to try and get the money back? Like, please dive a little deep. But they don't do that on this show with this family, the Braxton family. The next episode, nobody is going to have any scenes where they discuss, like, oh my gosh, is that true? Did Towanda steal Tamar's credit cards? There's not going to be a sit down with Tamar to ask her how she handled that. And I don't even think she's going to address it in her confessional. But if I was the producer that asked her questions for the confessional, I would totally say, let's circle back around to that. And what was your response? How did you handle that? When was the last time that she did that, allegedly? Because blood or not, if you're like stealing my credit cards, doing cash advances or purchases, I'm shutting down that card. I'm launching an investigation through the credit card company. And if I find out who it is, I am pressing charges, blood related or not. But just they're gonna gloss all over. They're gonna gloss over it and just continue with something else the next episode. And that, to me, that's not good producing, and that's not good reality TV. So it's part production and part talent for sure, because they're not going to dive deep on it. Now, Towanda, obviously, she did not say, "How dare you say that I stole your credit cards?" I absolutely did not and would not do that. Don't you lie on me. She did not say that. She pivoted and said that Tamar slept with Toni's exes. And that pivot, it was successful on Tawanda's part, because then the conversation changed, Tamar's energy changed. She was no longer focused on the theft and whatever she wanted to bring up concerning her son, which was the original initial topic of conversation. She totally got Tamar off focus, off her, and then it switched, and then Toni stands up and gets mad at Tamar. So Tamar, you have to know when someone is trying to manipulate you and manipulate the conversation and alter your behavior, and you need to try and be steadfast and stay in your original topic. I know I've been there, but Towanda totally, she slung some dirty, sticky, gross mud, and I definitely hope that it is not true. I have to say, it seemed like, because it's part performative, part real with the Braxton girls, Toni and Trina's facial expressions, their body language, they're always like trying to keep stuff hush, but they're on a reality TV show. So I was trying to read them if they were like shocked over what Towanda said that Tamar did, or if they were shocked that Towanda revealed it. Like, did Toni already know, is what I'm getting at. Did Toni already know if this is true, or was she totally flabbergasted? I'm leaning towards, if it's true, she already knew and just can't believe that Towanda actually said that on camera. That's what I'm leaning towards. But what do you all think? Do you believe the rumors that, or what Towanda said, that Tamar slept with some of Toni's exes? Do you think that Toni and Trina already knew about it? Let me know in the comments. I feel like at minimum, Towanda probably gossiped about it with her other sisters, Trina and Tracy. I don't know if they ever sat Toni down and told her. A part of me thinks that they did and that she already knew, and her shock was over Towanda saying it on camera. But do you all think that is true? Do you think that Toni already knew prior to this scene? And do you believe Tamar's accusations of putting the down payment on Tawanda's home, as well as Towanda stealing her credit cards allegedly? I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. I hope that you all are having a great Saturday and a great weekend so far. I have had a very slow morning. I had grits for breakfast and hot peppermint tea. And while I was doing that, I washed like my sweats that I wear to the gym and towels. And so, and now I've made some content. So I've had part productive, part chilling Saturday so far. Now I'm going to get dressed and prepare to go see Frankenstein. It's a 2.5 hour movie. So it's going to take up like most of the Saturday, but it should be fun. So I hope you have some fun and have some balance between chilling at home and doing something fun outside of the home as well. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.